Once again, it's on. You're listening to the only morning show when people
at night.
That's right. It is the Sinclair Show on WBISLP, Awesome Radio 106.9. It is the hottest station in the Carolinas where we're prime time, and the clock tells me it is 8:01 p.m. First, I want to thank all of you all who continue to support us with your questions and comments, sending them to sinclairtalk@outlook.com. We're going to continue to address as many as possible each night to reach you, the valued listener. The Sinclair Show is an interactive show. And what does that mean? That means you can call in at any time at 252-756-2008 to be a part of the conversation. That's right. Some of y'all are trapped right now in the middle of on your way home, already sitting in the front yard, and you saying to yourself, Sinclair, I don't want to miss a minute of the show. Don't worry about it. Here's what you do. If you got the Android phone, all you got to do is go to your Google Apps, download the Awesome Radio logo, click on it, give it a few seconds, let it download, poof. Next thing you know, you'll be listening to us streaming live on your phone. Now, some of y'all saying, well, Sinclair, hold on, partner. I can't just roll up in the house on my phone because I've been accused of some transgressions from time to time. Don't worry about it, buddy. You can make it so everybody in your house can listen. How do you do that? All you got to do is go to your laptop or that big desktop you still harboring in there. All you got to do is get on your internet. Go to Google. Type in www.wbisawesome.org. When you get up there, all you got to do is go to streaming and give it a few seconds. If you got some speakers, let it play through the speakers. Matter of fact, make everybody in the house mad if you want to. All right? Let them listen to it too, because they need to be down with the Sinclair Show just like you. Maybe their life and common sense will be a little bit better. All right? Now, for some of y'all, even that's not enough. And I understand. Some of y'all got to get the visual experience. How do you do that? All you got to do is go to Facebook. When you get to Facebook, type in the Sinclair, Sinclair Show. Now, when you get there, you're going to see a little red heart going to look something like that. And you know what that heart means? That heart means that I love y'all sometimes. Because sometimes I don't like y'all because y'all be coming at me with the foolishness. But we still be riding with each other because sometimes the truth is what it is, and I got to give y'all truth in doses. How about that? All right. So let me do this. First of all, let me see who's out here because I like to give my little crew man, Kaylon Riley, what is up? Man, where you been, man? Kaylon is out there probably serving his country well out there on the ship, swimming around or whatever he does for this great nation. Good looking out for you. Then I see Essie Shepherd. Hey, Essie. How's everything going with you? That's my armor bearer. She keep the wolves off my back. Then I see Robin is out there. Robin Williams, what you doing, girl? You causing trouble or you got that pistol out, I bet you. Then I see April Gray, the arch nemesis. Look at who I see, people. That's my mama. Hey, mama. What you got going on, mama? Mama, what you cook today? Y'all notice that's what people always want to ask their mama what they cook. Exactly. Like all they do is live just to prepare you a snack. Whatever. Anyway, Valerie Strayhorn Harris, what's going on? Y'all know Valerie is an alright person. Sometimes she try to get a little smart with you, but she good people. That's why I keep her on the show. Keep her with a little props, if you will. Cornelius Keys, he got them keys. What's up, my brother? You know I'm always glad when I got them brothers out here, because sometimes it get a little warm up in the atmosphere, if you will. All right, but right now, Camille, do you want to talk to the people for a second?
That would be nice. Good evening, everyone. It is a blessed day to be here. I see Randy Clayton out here as well. And you did say Diane Keys. And I just want to let everybody know that we do have our phone line up and running. So if you would like to call us tonight, you can dial 252-756-2008 to get your comment heard. You were going to say that?
I already did say
You did say that. Well, okay, I wanted to remind
you. You don't be listening to the show?
I do listen to the show sometimes. But anyway, Sinclair, I'm going to give it back to you because we have a lot of letters tonight.
Y'all see what kind of mess I had to go through. Now, I done already put that out there. She going to come and repeat it. Diane Keys, what's going on? Glad to see you out here as well. Let me see. What else was I going to say?
And I see our son B is out there also. So good evening, son.
So B is out there. B gonna have to get his own little thing because I believe Avery just trying to get the props out twice. But anyway, let me see who I was. Man, y'all want me to tell y'all something. I know some people got some birthdays out there. I'm trying to remember. I knew it was some birthdays out there somewhere.
Mosquitoes out here. That's one thing.
Talk about some mosquitoes. Raymond Green, man? That's my brother right there. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret. About an hour ago, right? I be following my brother Raymond because he be having some deep thoughts and stuff, right? And I just happened to be on Facebook, and I magically appeared on his Facebook site. He had a little live thing going on. First, I had me a little nervous because the brother was in the tub, and I was like, "Hold on, this brother." But he was fully dressed, people. I guess he was in there trying to do some kind of challenge, you know. Sometimes brothers do just any old kind of challenge.
A tub challenge?
Yeah, I think he was doing the little thing like what's the little short comedian be doing?
I don't know that.
The one that just got hurt. What's his name? Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, the bottom line is I see my brother up here, so he done jumped out the tub and everything is what it is. So I'm glad to see him. Y'all get a chance to stop by his page. Hit up Raymond Green and become one of his friends. He always talking about some good information. I'm just letting y'all know. Some of y'all ain't got no friends that have good information. Some of y'all, all of your friends got bad information. Ain't my fault.
Jesus.
Anyway, so let me see what happened today. Oh, let me tell y'all what happened in the news because I try to educate y'all a little bit too. So I was watching the news today, right? And I'm gonna tell y'all, so they officially started the what do you call that proceeding? The impeachment hearings today for your boy Donald J. Mr. Orange himself. And the first person they called up to the stand in front of Congress was Corey Lewandowski. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Let me tell y'all what. Now I'm not giving him no props or nothing, right? But I'm going to tell y'all the difference in the way that white people navigate Congress and how we do. This dude went straight up to Congress, right? Sat right across from him, and then right out the gate started talking crazy as he wanted to him. And he was like, well, even though I've never worked for the government and I wasn't in his cabinet, he called me last night, or they sent me over this letter and told me that I should not be talking about anything outside of the Mueller report. So anything you ask me, I ain't gonna talk about. They start asking this dude questions, and I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm starting to realize how different we see life, because my Anglo-Saxon buddies are not scared of Congress, the police, the FBI, nobody. They will talk just as crazy. This dude was talking to Congress. They was asking him some questions. They said, would you like to read this? He said, no, you read it. I was like, this dude. So I'm just telling y'all, part of the reason why we be falling off the cliff and going to the wayside is because we got a little more fear than what they do. They keep it 100 with themselves, right, wrong, or indifferent. So anyway, I just want to throw that out there because it was a good laugh for me. But I ain't got time to be playing with y'all. I got to get up here in these letters. So Camille, can you go ahead and read the first letter?
Sure. This first one says, Dear Sinclair Show.
That is here.
I am writing in response to the vape conversation from last week.
The what?
Vape.
Vape.
Yes. I've been working at a certain store here in Greenville, and I know for a fact that much of the oil is not regulated correctly, and there are store owners who are selling anything they can just to make that paper. I know that the owner of my store... Hold on. Yeah.
Is this guy in here snitching?
I think so.
On the place where they work? Go ahead.
Let me finish. Okay, he said, I know that the owner of my store, an Arab guy, is selling his own oils, and they don't care. And most of the people coming into the store are teenagers and young people. It is funny how easy they come in the store and they sell them anything. Sinclair, I agree with you that when you say that the part of the issue is parents don't get in their kids' rooms or book bags. I have seen kids as young as 11 smoking on vape sticks and parents acting like they don't know that this stuff is a problem. I remember back in the day when stores sold the candy cigarettes that had that puff of dust. I remember those too. Sinclair, what can we do about this in the black community? Sign, pay attention to your own house, one kid, one life.
Well, first of all, let me say this. Let me go up here, y'all. I got to check out something going on in my Facebook page right now. I see Valerie straight home. Valerie, what's all these sevens you got in? You are you having trouble, or are you trying to give somebody up here your number, or what? Anyway, somebody check out Valerie straight home. She got some problems. She doing the most on the Sinclair Show. Next, first of all, thank y'all for listening to the show and writing your little letters, but I'm gonna give you some advice. When you gonna write the show, don't start talking about the place where you got employment at, because you don't never know who listening to this, right?
Right.
And I don't know that there's that many vape stores around here, all right?
We really do.
Jeffrey Key, what's going on, my brother? And I'm just saying, this person right here done wrote the letter, and they done wrote the letter talking about, I work for a certain store here in Greenville,
right,
and I know for a fact they're doing something illegal. Now, come on now.
That's what they said.
I'm trying to help you keep your job.
Right.
See, because it doesn't mean anything for you to have all this wonderful information if you get fired and the only place you can talk about it is here on the show. Although I like getting that intel because I can help my people out. Come on now, you keep it a little bit more discreet than that. Mm-hmm. So anybody, matter of fact, he said the owner of the store is an Arab guy.
Right.
Now you dwindling it down a little bit by
no.
It's this William Mays.
Hey Will, that's my stylist.
Whatever. And I see Barry Horton. What's up, my brother? I'm back in town, so hit your boy up. But anyway, so this person right here done wrote a letter. Courtney Barrow, that go my girl right there.
Courtney.
You know we always be waiting on Courtney. But how you gonna work for a store and you gonna sit up here and you gonna write in with a letter you describing that the store is here in Greenville,
correct,
that your boss is Arabic.
Right.
I mean, come on now. Now we locking it down to 3 or 4 round here.
Actually, you didn't. That's still a big number because most of them stores are that. So keep rolling.
Okay, well, let me say this to you then. Whoever's writing this, let me put this in your mind. Don't get every brother or sister that works in these stores fired because they got to fire all y'all because y'all snitching via letter on the Sinclair Show. All right, I should have pre-read this one. I would have put some X's on some words. This person said they work in Greenville at a vape store that sells these vape items. That they working for an Arabic guy.
That's true, Will.
And the Arabic guy around here cooking up his own oils in the background, right?
Right.
Mignon, what's going on? That's my niece, people. She ain't Asian.
Evening.
But I'm trying to understand. You done told too much, brother. I can't keep your job for you if you out here putting out this intel.
Right.
Now, since we done already told him not to do it, let's go and talk about what he is saying, though. Mm-hmm. Tammy Green King, glad to see you. One of the things that the author of this letter is saying is that y'all out here buying products to vape on. And for those new people or my more seasoned people who ain't never heard of vaping, y'all still choking y'all lives out off the regular cigarettes at 20 in a box or whatever. And I'm going to tell y'all how I know this. This is no joke. So I got one of my little colleagues, right? And he's a chain smoker, right? And his name is Thomas Mims, right? Put the man's name out there. Because I need my people to know how I know, because I don't smoke cigarettes, right? But we happen to, remember I told y'all I was going down to the congressional caucus, right? So that's where we was last week, and he was on a trip with us. And so, I noticed that every time this brother moved, we got to get them cigarettes, right? So I was trying to understand for myself, well, how many cigarettes do you smoke? And he gave me an old quick number like, I think he said a couple of packs every few days, right? So I said, well, how many cigarettes is in a pack? The brother said 20.
It is 20.
So I'm thinking to myself, 20 cigarettes, you gotta be a real heavy smoker to go. And he was like, no, some people smoke a couple of packs a day.
That's true.
I was like, well, when do you have time to do anything else? Because almost every building these days is a smoke-free zone. So how do you find time to smoke 40 cigarettes in a 24-hour period? You must be up all night smoking. But anyway, let's get back to this. So for those of you who have graduated to the vaping items, we had a letter that was on last week, and it was talking about the seriousness of vaping because apparently there have been some people who have died recently. So I did me a little due diligence, if you will, and I learned that all oils are not created equally. Okay, when the original process started, apparently it was designed so you could wean yourself down because you could get lower amounts of nicotine in different oils or whatever, right? See, I didn't become an oilologist, if you will. But anyway, so apparently now you got people making them in the basement. I ain't saying it's these Arabic guys, but that's what the person on this letter said that his boss is doing. Look, people, we got to take a sponsorship break. When we come back, we're going to get on this. This is Sinclair Show, WBISLP, Awesome Radio 106.9. We'll be back. Kareem, what's up, my brother? What you mad because I put memes out there like that? What you mad because I put memes out like that? You can't hear? I said, what you talking about? Because I put memes out? Hey, memes a chain smoker, man.
He is, but man, we have to do that to him like that.
I just tell memes he made the show last night.
And he gonna get you. I'm gonna tell him to play it back.
That man a chain smoker.
You know we know people that do that. Remember those at the facility?
Whoa. Now, see, you talking about there's a difference between talking about your homies and talking about some clients. I don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't
see,
say
people,
who.
People listen. I don't know what she talking about.
I didn't say who.
What's going on out there, people? Hope y'all having a good night, a blessed week so far. Not the mortgage symposium. Man, it sound like they got dinosaurs on it. So this joker said they vaping. Arabics making the oil at the house. It's funny how you come to the store and never sell them anything.
But I guess the biggest issue is the youth going in and doing it like that also.
What's Valerie talking about? Valerie Strayhorn said New York and DC are implementing a ban on vaping.
She's correct. Especially those flavors.
Well, Valerie, I guess you can't vape no more.
I know they said that this morning.
Ah.
Especially certain flavor ones.
Oh, certain flavors.
Yeah, they are.
Ah, let's talk about that, people. You are back on the Sinclair Show, WBISLP, Awesome Radio 106.9. It is the hottest station in the Carolinas, people. We are prime time. The clock says it's 8:18. The first letter hot out the mailbag was talking about vaping. That popped out last week, and somebody else is talking about it. Now, this person done went a little overboard because the first thing they doing is they telling on their own self where they work at. Snitching on themselves about they Arabic boss who at the crib making oils in their little lanterns and bringing it out there so y'all can and smoke on it or whatever, all right? Now, some of our valued listeners is educating us, but first of all, let me let y'all know my brother Kareem Hazard done joined us. Valerie Strayhorn talking about some New York and DC are implementing a ban on vaping.
She's correct. She
getting the intel. We want to know how Valerie get all her information. But anyway, so let's just break this down a little bit more, people. Now, this person is saying it's funny how easy they come in the store and they gonna sell them anything. Now look, people, I don't have no validation of this information, so I can't say for real that our Arabic brothers are making any kind of mischievous oils in the basement of their house and bring them in there letting y'all smoke them. We don't have no proof of that. This could be, I'm saying could be. Beverly, keep what's going on, cuz?
They say they know for a fact.
See, we got to be careful when we up here trying to putting out this business information, because here's what I would ask you, whoever wrote this letter.
Right.
If you wrote a letter saying, I know for a fact that your Arabic bosses are cooking up some oils in the background and bringing them out there for some folks to be vaping on, why haven't you called it in? You writing into the show. Now they got people out here talking about dying and whatever from these vapes.
Yes.
Why are you just talking about it on the show? You ain't like you gave me the store name and the Arabic person's name, so I can't help you on that. So I'm just gonna say this, in keeping with my normal thought process, I'm assuming that you're telling us the truth. You're implementing facts, but you didn't give us enough to go on. So people, I don't want y'all running out tomorrow to your local Arabic vape stores and talking about somebody said on the Sinclair Show that y'all be cooking up these mischievous oils in the background. Yvonne Rouse, what's going on? Glad to see you. Now, but there is a serious nature to this, because what I was able to look up and check out on the internet is that these vape companies are doing the same thing that the cigarette companies used to do, meaning they're creating flavors that target young people. They talking about they had Fruit Loops and bubble gum flavor and cotton candy and hold on. And then they had people up there talking about those aren't for kids. You tell me what adult is sitting around saying, I wish I had me some Fruit Loop vapes so I can smoke, because I just want to get the Fruit Loop flavor in my system. Or who walking around looking for cotton candy vape? Okay? I'm not saying ain't none of y'all adults doing it, because some of y'all ain't never grown up anyway. But for the most part, they're talking about it went from being like 7 or 17% 3 or 4 years ago to 27% now. That's a 10% jump in 3 years of teenagers and middle school and high school people that are trying them. Parents, here's the other side of it. And I know y'all get tired of me getting in y'all case, but so what? Deal with it. Part of the truth is you don't know nothing about your kids. Because you're sacrificing your parental responsibilities for your ability to get them a break and a pass, and I want them to have more freedom and privacy. And apparently what's happening with the privacy is, if you were to ever go walk past their room and go in there, you remember back in the day like your parents did? Remember, you couldn't do a lot of stuff, right? Back in the day, you wasn't going in your room, just closing doors and all top secret. Now they secret in there. Y'all don't go in the rooms. When the last time you looked in your child's book bag? Most of y'all don't even go in them, because that's their stuff. And I just want them to feel like whatever. And the schools are saying that your kids is coming in there with the letter started, for those of you who don't know. It started because there's a school in Alabama that had to take the stalls off from the toilets because kids was going in there and having smoke fest and somebody passed out in there.
Correct.
So understand this. You ain't checking them at home. Obviously they're getting this stuff from someplace. And they walking around with it straight into school, which means they had it on them before they got there. Okay? Because I don't know of any school buses stopping by your local vape store on the way to school so they can pick them up for them. So maybe we need to get back to doing our responsible job of parenting by checking on what's going on with your kids. And for some of y'all that's saying, well, there comes a time when you're supposed to let them do it. Yeah, that time is when they're no longer living in your house. Okay, you ought to want to know if your child is smoking and drinking and any of the other things that they out here doing, because you're supposed to be teaching them. You can't teach them if you already assume that ain't your child doing it, because these schools ain't snatching stall doors off and creating all brand new policies, and kids and people ain't out here dying because it ain't a real problem out here. You just don't have a real problem in your thought process because you think it's everybody else's child but yours. All right, I'm just telling y'all, get involved, because right now we're dealing with some serious issues. If you can smoke something and be dead in a few hours, or you can smoke something and next thing you know, you acting crazy as all outdoors. Y'all sitting around worried about is your child getting out here on some drugs, some illegal drugs, and they out here with allegedly, see I put the air quotes out there, allegedly with some Arabic guys cooking up some oil in the background and next thing you know, they bringing it out there, selling it to your child, and they smoking it and acting just as crazy as all outdoors. So I'm telling you, there's some real issues going on, and the first thing you got to do is take ownership of your own responsibility. It ain't the school's responsibility to know what's in your child's bag before they get there. Okay? That's our job. We got to stop pawning it off on the next person and then getting mad when they do their job. Because there's a lot of people wrote in talking about, I can't believe they took the stall doors off it. I wish they would in my area. I wish you do your job. And I'm pretty sure the school district too. I'm pretty sure them teachers wish that you would do your job. It's a lot of people wish we do our job as parents so they can get back to doing their basic fundamental job of, what about all I got to do is teach? Okay? Because I could used to back in the day, I could send a little note home on your chest and I could rest assured you was gonna get a 2-piece when you got to the house. Now you send a note home on somebody's chest. First of all, they ain't gonna ride home with it no way. But even if they do, you liable to have a parent come back out to the school and threaten you for talking about how dumb and ignorant their child is acting. I'm just saying. But we gonna go on to the next letter because you know what? I ain't got that much time.
Dear Sinclair,
that is me.
Recently, I found my husband's calendar and decided to take a look into it, and I got the shock of my life.
A calendar chaser?
I saw where he had been on many hotel visits with someone with the initials LW over the last year more than 7 times.
LW.
I am so disgusted by looking at the dates. He told me he was out of town when he was laying up in a hotel with someone. I then tried to get the bank statement to verify the locations based on the printout, but because I'm not on the account, they would not give me that information. I have noticed that when he comes home from those so-called trips that his mood is much better and he acts as normal as ever. Sinclair,
yes.
First, how can I get to the bottom of this and how can I catch him and make him pay for all those low-down things that he's done to me and the children over the past year? Wow. Can you help me catch this lowlife? I would really appreciate it. Signed, Housewife Number 1.
Well, housewife number 1, first of all, I've told you all, even though I got love for y'all, don't be writing the show asking me, can I get involved in the foolery of your life? And y'all want to know, can I help you catch something? First of all, listen up, my little cat burglar. I don't know that I can help you because first of all, there's some information you got that might not, I don't have enough information to help you make a determination if you're really doing anything wrong. You said you found a calendar.
Right.
All you found was a calendar. And you said you took a look into it and you got the shock of your life. Well, apparently your life ain't been that exciting because a calendar got you excited, all right?
Oh, wow.
And you said, I saw where he had been in many hotel visits with someone with the initials LW. Well, how do you know that the initials LW is the person he was visiting?
Or with?
Right. Matter of fact, hold on. I got to take a sponsorship break. I'm going to come back because we got to get deep into this. This is the Sinclair Show, WBISLP, Awesome Radio 106.9, the hottest station in the Carolinas. We're going to be back with LW.
According to the Department of Veterans Affairs, VA.
What could LW stand for? All right, people out there in Facebook land, I need y'all to tell me, what could LW stand for? Because it ain't got to be a person's name. Let me see, LW. Late for work?
Are you serious?
Hey, the man is out doing his job. I'm just
say late for work.
LW, late for work. Let me see. Love my wife. I mean, it's a lot of things. Hey, Valerie said, long weekend. Good shot. Anybody else out there got some ideas on what LW could stand for? Let me see. Lonely without you.
Oh, wow.
Let me see.
Lightweight, your cousin said.
Jeffrey, lightweight, outstanding. That ain't really helping, Jeffrey. I need something a little more cleaner. Let me see. The living word.
Really?
Let me see. Come on, people, help me out. I know some of y'all is trapped in the salaciousness of this, but what could LW stand for on a calendar? Let me see. Come on, people, I need some help before we get back on the air, because it ain't looking good for them.
I got the W.
See? Valerie said a light week. That's what I'm talking about. Valerie, that's a good sign that you done did some slick stuff before, because you got about 4 or 5 of these things that might work. I'm going to have to keep my eye on you. Let me see.
I I do have one.
What's that?
You don't want it.
Better talking about some nope. You are back on the Sinclair Show on WBISLP Awesome Radio 106.9. It is the hottest station in the Carolinas. People, let me tell you what it is. The second letter is somebody. Lady says she done found her husband's calendar, and she's assuming that the man is out there cheating around on her because she says she saw where he had been on many hotel visits with someone with the initials in that calendar block of LW over the past year. She said, I'm so disgusted looking at the dates he told me he was out of town. He was laying up in the hotel with somebody. First of all, is there a hotel chain with LW in it, in the initials? Somebody figure that out for me. Some of my more detective-minded people who are not as sinister thinking, Valerie Strayhorn said it could stand for long weekend. Jeffrey Key said lightweight. Let me see. What did April say? Why would he need to document their initials? Is it more than one and he has to keep them straight? Then she say the living word. Wilhelmina McCall, what's going on? We're glad to see you. All right, so first of all, the reason why my compadres out there in Facebook land are asking about this, because I asked the public what's some initials that could be for LW that might not be a person's name. All right. First of all, you said the man told you he was out of town and he was staying at a hotel based on what his calendar said. Most people that go out of town stay at a hotel, right or wrong.
That's true.
So where else you thought he was going to stay at? See? Already your story breaking down and you tearing this man down, not because you found it. And people, listen, here's some of the pieces why she said she suspect he's on a little shady adventure. She talking about because when he come back in town, he got a good attitude. Well, let me give you another reason why he could have a good attitude. Maybe he done spent 3 or 4 days away from you in your bad attitude, and maybe all it did was make him feel a sense of relief, okay? Because having a good attitude does not equal that he must be doing something. Am I right or wrong, people?
That's correct.
See, all you got is an initial on a calendar when he said he was going to be out of town of LW, which we've already deduced could mean a host of different things, and that he comes back home with a good attitude. Unless you're implying that since you believe that he has someone on the side, that you're believing that that person on the side is making him have a good attitude when he gets back at the house. Is that what is being implied?
I think so.
So then why don't you do this? The next time he get ready to go out of town, why don't you give him about an extra $100 to get at that person? Because apparently they doing your job for you and they putting your household back in order. Because when he get back home, he got a good attitude by your own admission. Is that true?
Okay.
So you might owe that person a few pesos. I'm just saying. Now April said maybe he's just happy to be back home with his loving wife. That's a thought. All right. So people, why do we always go to the most negative thoughts? And the reason why I'm asking that in this particular case is because the individual did not say prior to getting that calendar that they had any reason to suspect something, right or wrong?
That's correct.
So if the only reason why you thinking your man ain't worth $2.72 is because he happens to be in a good mood when he say he's coming, when he comes back from out of town, that's a little weak. Then she want to ask me the magical questions, people. She want me to tell her how to catch him. First of all, why y'all think I know how to catch everybody? Okay? You know how many letters I get in here with y'all asking Sinclair, can you help me catch him? I'm not no cat burglar. I don't know how to help you catch a crook. But if I was to give you some tips,
okay,
what I would say is this. First of all, let's try the most unorthodox thing you could probably think of. Why don't you just ask him? Why don't you ask him what LW stands for? And why don't you ask him? Now, I would recommend that you wait until after he give you an answer before you make an absolute fool of yourself. But before you ask him, what does LW stand for? Now, here's the reason why people, most of you don't want to do that. Because most of you want to argue on the right side of the history of the argument, okay? Meaning, in order for you to ask that question, you got to go to confession. You got to let a person know you've been in their stuff. Now that's the old target. Because see, if LW don't stand for somebody else's name, and if there's a logical answer, then the whole argument is going to turn on, why are you in my work calendar? I'm just saying. But sometimes just asking the question will get you the answer. Now prepare yourself, because maybe you can't handle the answer. I'm just saying, all right? So once you ask that question, or if you don't feel like putting your cards on the table, try this, okay? Next time he says he's going on a business trip, ask him, can you go with her? Okay? Valerie Strayhorn talking about the LW Hotel.
In Brazil.
Well, Valerie, while you trying to help this brother, let me say this to you.
Yeah, I didn't think he was traveling.
He's not going to Brazil.
Yeah.
Now, good looking out for the brothers.
Yeah.
But that ain't helping them on this one.
She's absolutely correct.
So let me say this again. Part of what the easiest thing to do is just ask the question. Now, you can say, hey, look, I was cleaning up and I saw your calendar and I perused through it because I wanted to see if you had some dates of availability where we might do something. Okay? Now, that probably wouldn't be the truth. Just tell the truth. I was snooping and I saw these LWs and it got me a little concerned. And why you come home happy every time you've been out on the road working? Okay? Yeah, you're going to make yourself look stupid as all outdoors for a little bit. Especially if it ain't what you think it is. But that's the price you pay for wanting to know the truth. Other than that, you can get your paper chips up. You can get a whole bunch of devices and a lot of the other stuff. But be careful when you're out there listening and looking and searching. Because you might find something out that you're not prepared to deal with. And then while this is for another show, here's what happens in those situations. We always forget about the what do you do when you know the information? Okay? Are you prepared to take a stand? Because if you really ain't gonna do nothing about it, don't even look. Okay? That's what I say to you. But this, something in my spirit just don't make me feel like this dude is doing nothing. I don't believe your husband doing nothing wrong. It just don't feel like it. You ain't got nothing in all this time that really indicates that this man is out there doing anything.
Okay.
So I think you ought to back up off him for a little bit. Let nature take its course. If he's coming home in a good mood, just enjoy the good mood. Okay? Apparently, matter of fact, ask him for some tips. What happens when you go out of town that makes you feel so wonderful when you come back? Because maybe I need to send you out of town more often. That's a thought. Okay?
Oh, wow.
I'm just saying. But anyway, if you would need some more help with it, just go and call the show, hit a brother up. Maybe I can give you some tips offline on some detective work you could do. All right? Holla at you.
Okay, this next one's kind of lengthy, Sinclair.
Are you going to get through it in this?
I will probably not. So therefore, if you want me to start, I will. Dear Sinclair, what is your thoughts on the Rockdale County, Georgia shooting where 3 kids were killed while they were trying to rob someone? There were people outside the house talking about the homeowner did not shoot and kill the kids, the 3 teenage kids. One person on camera talked about taking one shot to remove the threat. Sinclair, what would you think about the senseless taking of the 3 lives, and what is the answer for this type of senseless action taking place in our communities on almost a daily basis? How do we fix it? CNN, Georgia homeowner shot and killed 3 teens as they approached his residence with their faces covered, authorities said. The masked teens, 15-year-old, 2 16-year-olds, approached 3 residents around 4 a.m. Monday on their front yard of the home just outside Conyers and tried to rob them, the Rockdale County Sheriff's Office said. One of the would-be robbers took out a gun and fired shots at them before one of the residents returned fire, authorities said. I heard a guy yelling for help. Help me, help me, help me. I'm dying, help me, help me. Brian Jenkins told the station. Signed, Armani.
All right, look, we're going to address this one when we come back from this station break, but I want to tell y'all what Courtney said. Courtney said, I always wondered if these who send the letters write them in hopes that they get read on air while the person who they are writing about is watching or listening. Right. Look, y'all, this is Sinclair Show, WBISLP, Awesome Radio 106.9, the hottest station in the Carolinas. We be back in a few seconds. Courtney, you ain't writing no letters, are you? And putting the speakers on. Courtney said folks be writing letters while the person's sitting right there.
That's a good point, baby.
That's one way to get the message out in their house. So Courtney, you saying they using me to ask the question that they just want to ask themselves.
That's right, darling. That's right.
Now I just tell Camille in person.
That's right.
What April talking about? Where's Pastor tonight? I don't know. He might be on the road or something.
Depression is real. Suicide, mental illness, financial devastations, relationship issues, grieving, job loss, battling sickness. Those are real issues that real people have dealt with or are dealing with in what we call life. Hi there. I personally invite you to join me every fourth Sunday from 8 p.m. until 9 p.m. on WBIS Awesome Radio 106.9 LP FM with Enjoying the PM. Positive motivations with yours truly, Joy Brown. Life happens, but how do you handle it when it knocks on your door? Let's talk with some real people who bounced back and regained an edge on life. That's what it's all about. I look forward to speaking with you. Join those who saw lemons and made awesome lemonade on WBIS Awesome Radio 106.9 LP FM with Enjoying the PM. Positive motivations with yours truly, Joy Brown. Life happens.
That ain't what you did the first time.
That's what I did. I never do it.
Say what?
I didn't never do it.
Oh yeah, you did. That ain't what you really did. You are back on the Sinclair Show, WBISLP, Awesome Radio 106.9. It is the hottest station in the Carolinas where we're prime time. We're on the back side of the show, 8:42. We got about 15 hot minutes to get this out the way. First of all, the last letter right before we left, somebody wrote in talking about in Rockdale County, Georgia. Shout out to Georgia. That somebody done killed 3 kids who was trying to rob them, and they apparently the kids crept up on their lawns in the middle of the night at 4 a.m.
Yes.
First of all, see, I could go and hit the reverse button on this. Right. Before I tell y'all what I really think about it, we go right back to parenting. See what I'm saying, people? I keep trying to tell y'all, you don't even know where your kids is. How old are these?
15 and 16.
One 15-year-old and 2 16-year-olds lost their life. Yes. Because at 4 o'clock in the morning on a Monday morning, they out trying to rob somebody.
Correct.
You don't know where your kids are because you ain't parenting. Yes, I'm going to put it out there. You look.
It's correct.
What you want me to say? You want me to make you feel good about the fact? And now we got people out here mad, according to this letter. Correct. It's some folks mad talking about the homeowner didn't have to shoot to kill. All right. So let me go ahead and break this down real slow because I'm going to lose some of y'all tonight. Some of y'all ain't coming back on Thursday when I say this. What makes you think that if you trying to rob me, I don't care what your age is. I don't care if you are a 4-month-old baby who's strong enough to hold a pistol and you smart enough to put a ski mask on. If you come to my house with a pistol on, in a diaper, with a pistol, easing up on the yard, talking about give me your stuff, I'm going to put one in you, okay? See, people, it's not my responsibility, nor was it this homeowner's responsibility to wonder if the fools under the mask with them guns that shot at them first,
right,
what their age was.
Right.
That's your responsibility to worry about where your kids are, not mine. Okay? And this is the first thing we do. The first thing we want to do is start talking about, somebody was on the news talking about, oh, he could have shot a warning shot. Nope. Warning shots are for deer. Warning shots is for the little raccoons. Warning shots is for animals that really probably ain't got no place else to be because we done bulldozed down all the trees.
Okay.
Warning shots is not when you trying to break in my house and you got a gun and you shoot at me first. Be honest with you, warning shot ain't even for if you don't shoot at me first. You roll up to my house at 4 o'clock in the morning. You don't live there. You trying to get in and get what I work hard for, and you want me to take the thought process that all I had to do was shoot up in the air and hope that y'all run. Nope. I don't care if it is your child. Okay? If you want your child, you better know where your child is at 4 o'clock in the morning. If you want your child, you need to teach your child some manners. Because when you running out here where folks is hard working and trying to have whatever little bit they got, and your child, because you done let them think their entire life that they was entitled to something. Okay? You sitting around here, you done allowed them to believe that they your boss at your house. You done allowed them to believe that they can come and go as they please. Matter of fact, somebody saying, well, maybe they didn't know because maybe their child spent the night over somebody's house, and then shut up with all that foolishness. Okay? You know how crooked your child is. You know your child ain't worth a dime before anybody else knew it. I know some of y'all got nervous right there because you thought I was about to go in the other direction, but I didn't. So let me say this to you. Let's stop with all this ignorance. You love your child. Every time somebody got your child down at the morgue, all of a sudden you become the best parent. You love them to death when they in the morgue. You should have had that much concern about them when they was sitting up in your house, telling you what they wasn't going to do. When they was up in your house, going and coming as they please. When they was up in your house and all them letters that you got from the teachers and everybody else telling you how ignorant and disrespectful your child was, and you blamed everybody but yourself. You the reason why your child in the morgue right now. Because I'm going to tell you what a good parent will do. A good parent that know they did the best that they can and tried to teach their child some values, you know what they do? They put that overcoat on and they drive down there and they say a prayer over the body and they tell them, look here, holler at me when you get them ready for me to call down there and get the, what you call them people? The mortician to come get them. Because a good parent that done all they could, you ain't got to shed no tears over a bad seed. It's those of us who don't do what we supposed to do. Those of us who have fell short in our own parenting. And it is not another homeowner's responsibility to be sitting around here hoping and praying that that little thug that you done raised with the ski mask on and the pistol shooting at him in his house at his yard at 4 a.m. that he cut him some slack. What he did was exactly what you and I should do. Because I'm going to tell y'all, and I hate to have to keep telling you, but you mess around and be up at my address if you want to. I'm treating you like a burglar, and burglars get killed. That's it. It is what it is. I say a prayer about it. I'm gonna talk to God about it. God know what the game is. He know He ain't want you to come in there and get me. He want to let me have all them pistols I got. You need to manage your child and stop blaming somebody for what you didn't do. And no, I don't feel 1 ounce. I'm gonna sleep like a kitten tonight. And I hope the homeowners that had to wind up gunning them 3 down, I hope they sleep like a kitten too. And if that's too strong for you, then you're on the wrong side of this. I don't care how you look at it.
Okay.
Stop making up excuses for what these young people are out here doing, because this wasn't their first rodeo. 3 of y'all ain't get together tonight and decide you was comfortable shooting at a homeowner. To pull that trigger takes something different. Those of you all who ain't never pulled one wouldn't know nothing about that. Go on to the next letter before I be done said something out the cup.
Let's move on. Dear Sinclair.
What do you want?
This last one. Recently, my husband came to me with the idea of us getting a girlfriend.
Well, that's a way to switch gears. Go ahead.
I did. He wants someone that will live with us and be a part of our family unit in a long-term relationship. At first, I was furious, but then I began thinking about the benefits, and the idea didn't seem so crazy.
Benefits.
I asked asked questions about the sleeping arrangements, the home responsibilities, and the financial obligations of all.
Questionnaires.
He explained with some level of strange clarity how it could benefit all involved, and it would actually make everyone's life more harmonious. Okay?
Harmonious. I'm listening to these words.
My biggest issue was with the sleeping situation, as I do not believe that I should have to share my bed with another woman. He gave me the options for fairness, we all sleeping in one big bed, or him spending 4 nights with me and 3 nights with her. That she would do some have some home responsibilities like cooking and laundry 2 weeks out of the month, and I would do 2 of the weeks out of the month.
Well,
that she would cook 3 nights, I would cook 3 nights, and we will all go out to eat 1 night a week. Sinclair,
what?
Am I out of my mind for considering this? And even worse, what will my family and friends think about this? I am really likening the idea, and that the things I do not want to do, like have sex all the time and cooking and cleaning all the time, I would have someone to share the responsibility with, and someone to talk to like a friend. Plus, we both have cheated in the past, and I think that this would make it so that no one wants to or has a need to venture outside the home. Sinclair, what do you think I should do? Signed, curious about this request.
My, oh my. First of all, glad you're listening to the show. Well, open-minded people I see. First thing, let me just come out the gate and say this. It's shocking because she came out and said, my husband came to me with an idea of us getting a girlfriend. So let me tell y'all, now y'all know I like to break things down. Technically, if she said us getting a girlfriend, she had already accepted the concept, right or wrong. Because she said us. Why is you looking like that? This is just a letter. What you want me to do with it? Then he said he wants somebody that's going to live with y'all. All right? She said I was furious, but then I began thinking about the benefits. See, now I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say this is probably one of my African-American sisters, because she said I was mad about it at first till I started thinking about the benefits. See? Nothing like somebody thinking about what they gonna get out the deal. And let's peruse through this and find out what she said she was gonna get. Okay. She said it was gonna help with the financial obligations. She said, what else she said was gonna be a benefit? Let me see.
Cooking and cleaning.
Cooking and cleaning, doing some chores, all right? She said then she would not have to do the stuff every day, that she would be able to do it just 2 weeks out the month, and the other person would do it 2 weeks out the month. So she's already said, I'm going to have more money in my pocket. I ain't going to have to clean up as much. I ain't going to have to cook as much. Now let me see.
You don't have to have sex as much.
Oh, so, well, ladies, first of all, now here's the question. Now, well, matter of fact, let me say it in a different way. Some of y'all ain't doing it no way, so it ain't really no benefit for y'all. If you already ain't cooking and cleaning and being intimate, this ain't no good deal for you no way, because you saying, I already ain't doing the workload. No way. But anyway, that's not what she said.
Right.
She said she started looking at the potential possibilities of how it could make the environment at the house better. All right. She said, Sinclair, am I out of my mind?
Correct.
Let me say this. You are probably out of your mind from one perspective, certainly. Because I'm not certain as to, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get 100 letters on this, but I'm not sure as to whether or not a regular woman could manage the emotions of that. And so I don't think, while you might get the trade off of only having to cook 2 weeks out the month, and you might get the trade off of having a few extra dollars in your pocket, I think that the level of discord and emotional frustration and anger would be heightened. Okay, that's my honest opinion, because you got to say to yourselves, every person wants to be top dog in the relationship. The moment that you make this agreement, then there is no top dog in that relationship other than him. Okay? I'm just saying. So when you think the trade-off is all of these other things are going to supersede the emotional component that you're going to have, then while some may say, well, that's a balanced trade-off, it's really not, because most people aren't in that frame of mind. We ain't talking about most people in Utah, okay?
Right.
Because here's what the reality of it is. If you didn't grow up in Utah or a place where the sister wives and all of that is a normal, then you can't erase all of the things that you have been taught, that have been embedded in you your entire life, to start a different way of thinking. And I'm trying to say this in a way that doesn't make you feel like I'm belittling you for something that you've considered, but you're asking me, and I got to tell you what I believe are some of the major pitfalls, okay? Because when you start talking about, what do you say, 4 nights with you and 3 nights,
right.
Them 3 nights, are you gonna really be able to navigate them kind of waters? And I'm saying it for those of you who are out there probably saying, well, all you gotta do is say, no, don't do it. I'm not dealing with a person who is not considering it. So what we're doing is using this time, which we ain't gonna have enough to finish, so we're gonna pick this up on Thursday. You gotta think about, can you really deal with the things that you're gonna be committing to? Because if you commit to this, then what that means is you don't get to walk around there with the shotgun on them 3 nights, right or wrong.
That's correct.
So you got to think about these things, because them 4 nights, you might say, well, that's cool on the 4 nights because I ain't got to cook and but them 3 nights is good. You ain't going to sleep them 3 nights. Okay. So you got to ask yourself, how do I process this if I'm considering it? Okay. I'm telling you, most regular people can't deal with this situation.
No.
Okay. So for those of you who are thinking about it, you need to ask yourself some honest questions before you jump out there, because there is a lot of things that go along with it. We ain't got time to finish them right now because I'm down to the last 20-some seconds. But I promise you, we're going to pick this up on Thursday night, because this takes some real explaining, because there's a lot of people doing a lot of stuff. And then when they get out there, it tears up the whole situation, and now you can't recover. Look, people, we're glad y'all joined us. This is the Sinclair Show, WBISLP, Awesome Radio 106.9, the hottest station in the Carolinas. We're going to come back on Thursday. Be safe, people.